a miracle we're not fighting while starting this video. Shall we thank Jesus?
Moods. I mean, say the communication problem could be also as a result of other things. Maybe that is the more. No, ama ana WhatsApp, ama ana Wi-Fi, ama penye anaishi hiyo nyumba yake ni ground floor, kunanga net, get.
One of the things that I found myself struggling with is understanding the male species.
Did you do biology?
I did.
Still didn't get nothing.
Let's go. I'm starting this video with a bouquet of flowers that I did not receive from Ben. I need to state that categorically.
Me just don't guess. Do they smell like the ones I sent you?
No, these ones are really good. Yeah. Do you mind if I do the whole video with the flowers here? No, but thank you, Latosi. Anyway, hey guys, it's been a minute since we did a sit-down video. We have done sit-down. Yeah. It's
like 2 months.
It's been a while. This year we haven't done a sit-down video with you on this channel.
It's been a very long time since I came to your channel. I don't know if it's because you saw that I got my own platform. You're like, oh my God.
And it's like.
Yeah. But the funniest thing is how now you're calling me to your channel to address something serious.
Yeah.
Is it because I started the podcast? Because before ulikuwa ni challenges. Sasa kwa hii challenge tutafunga masikio alafu nitaimba then utaguess ni ngoma gani. Now I have a podcast. Now you can call me we discuss serious stuff.
In case I don't think I've ever plugged you right here, but in case you did not know, Ben does have his own podcast. He finally got his own platform. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. There are beverages provided today. So Ben did get his own platform. In case you're sleeping on it, it's called the Psycho Podcast. It's a very, very good podcast. Yeah. I'm very proud of you.
Thanks, man.
Season 2 is out now. So this is like your media tour. Part of your media tour.
Like my media tour. And the same thing is happening to me as well. You remember when I'd come to your videos and guys would be like, oh my God, do more videos with Ben. Oh my God, do more videos with Ben.
Nobody spoke like that.
And now when you come to my podcast, every time they're like, oh my gosh, do more videos with Ben. So I like it.
Why do more videos with Ben?
Oh, sorry. Sorry. That's
people are like, do more videos with Ben.
Do more videos with Wanjiru. Do more videos with Wanjiru.
Yeah. But we're here on a more serious capacity. As you said, we've done a lot of challenges on this platform. And I thought, you know what? Ben has taken a more serious route with his brand. With his podcast.
I'm even doing cardigans. Kitambo nilikuwa nakuja hapa na t-shirt. Sasa ikiwa mtu amevaa cardigans kama hizi unajua huyo
sensei.
Yeah.
One of the things that I found myself struggling with is understanding the male species.
Did you do biology?
I did.
Still didn't get nothing.
I'm nervous doing on my platform because I've never done this kind of content before. Very, what can I say, emotion driven.
Like understanding men?
No, like just emotion driven because I'm tackling relationships and I've never done that before here. So it's going to be, I'm pretty nervous. I hope you guys will like this. So I thought I would outsource the services of one Dr. Phil.
Male expert. Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
I'm like the
so good. Dr. Love.
And then like even publishers are calling, hi Ben, how are you doing?
Can you have a column?
My name is Tommy from the New York Times. And I just wanted to would you like to talk about the male species on a deeper level? And then I'll be like, whoa, I'm a scam, bro.
And then that's how you become
the
biggest
like
scam.
Just to lengthen the whole book, we'll start with the biological part and just pick the stuff that we read in biology. So like chapter 1 to chapter 4 is biology, and then chapter 4 to chapter 8 is just me telling you to understand us.
So like I put out a question on Instagram and asked you guys to send in any difficult questions that you'd want to know about men, or you're struggling to understand as the same, or you have any dilemmas, just questions that a woman would want to hear from a man.
You have so many responses. These are like
I have so many,
more than 100.
And it's not even been like 3 hours.
Hey.
Oh God.
Superstar.
But I think most of them are repetitive in the sense that
it means
it's like one issue that's coming up.
FAQ.
Yeah. For this video, what do you want your name to be?
Dr. W. Dr. Wendell. Wait, Wendell is actually a chick's
Love,
name.
But it's...
Yeah, it's...
Okay,
now,
Dr. W.
Dr. W. I don't know if you know those guys always have a deep
voice.
Oh, my name is Dr. W. So, what's the first question? Kindly read for me the name.
Why are men so secretive with where they get their income from?
This how I was brought up myself is that and what I would see from my uncles and male cousins, and they would repeat this a lot of times, is that mwanamke hafai kujua where your money comes from.
So it's more of how you've been brought up.
That's how we've been brought up. So even after we started dating with you know that financially we started like talking about it like after a while. It wasn't like, hey, I like you too, boyfriend, girlfriend, here's my bank account. No.
But for me it was different because I've been brought up in a system where it's free for all. Like it's a common pool. So I think proceed. So
one of the things that I picked up growing up is that a lady should not know your source of income, because you're supposed to be this mysterious, warrior who, you're supposed to be this mysterious person, because if she knows how much money you have, ataku respect based on that money thing. But you see also the society has taught chicks to respect women based on their financial status.
Respect men or women?
Sorry.
Respect men.
Yeah, most chicks have been taught to respect guys based on their financial status. Like even broke guys don't even talk. Even on Twitter, like broke guys have no say. The only time broke guys speak is like, let's say when it's a riot, when the guys are protesting. But broke guys are not necessarily given the respect that they deserve. So that whole financial thing becomes very awkward, because on one hand you have this group of chicks who are taught the richer the guy, the more respect you give him. And then, this other side. So even when the guy starts getting money, he still has that culture for, hey, lazima tufiche hii store.
So I think it's more of just check where your partner or whoever you're interested in check their family, how they were brought up. Because that informs a lot of how they view money, how they view money in a relationship. So I think a lot of it, what you're trying to say in 10,000 words is that
check where they're coming from. So I think guys need to start normalizing seeing therapists once they start dating. It's a very good idea. It's we
should be practicing, I'm
the therapist. Okay. That's why you're seeing me.
Dr. W.
But seeing a therapist has never looked manly before. It was not a manly thing that unaenda kuona therapist kumwambia venye una feel, una get. It's something that guys are still warming up to. So I think we need to start making it a habit to see a therapist. If not, there's so many videos on YouTube, by the way, that can help you go through this and understand why you are some type of way. Because what that does, it helps you attain something called emotional maturity. So when you're emotionally mature, you're very do I say cognizant, or you're very keen to know that sometimes you're insecure with money, sometimes you're this and this, and maybe that way you can work on yourself. Let me drink something.
I'll take the next question. Why do men get weirded out by periods?
Let's go back to primary.
Are you weirded out by periods?
No. Okay. Right now, no. But back then, yes. Because like primo.
Let me add a part B. You said you're not weirded out right now. What helped you normalize the conversation around periods?
You see, like when we were in primary school, because that's when chicks would start getting their periods. I feel like teachers also used to make it so awkward. And even for chicks themselves, like a chick would wet themselves. Alafu unapata maybe mwalimu wanamficha ni kama ni ugonjwa. You get the whole thing is treated as how. Or I remember chicks who didn't have pads, and teachers would like call them out in such a weird way. So if it's awkward for for women, even guys,
you can imagine for guys.
For guys, we're just like, hey, we don't want to get into that whole story. I think it's a societal problem. And we need to change that whole PR such that a guy can even help out a chick. Whereas another kumbaya pad. Unaweza mbaya dame pad ka hana or something. We need to normalize that whole conversation.
How did you?
Because I remember the first time my mom alinitumanga you staff kwa shop.
So you see your staff?
You see no. The first time my mom sent me a pad to the shop, ali have kuandika hiyo kitu chini na huo shopkeeper alihave kuifunga na gazeti. At that time I didn't even know what always was. I used to see it on TV, and then mzee anamwaga kitu ya blue. So nilikuwa shangaa kama hii kitu inatoanga ink hivyo, mbona wase watupatiangi tutoe nayo ink? So later on I realized the blue thing was supposed to symbolize blood. So me walikuwa
the blue thing.
You don't remember the ads
back then? I remember what you mean.
They used to put the pad here, and then instead of pouring something red because they thought it was gross, they would pour a blue stuff. So at first I didn't even understand what the pads.
Oh, no, I get what you mean.
Yeah. So it's how it starts from when guys are still
So what helped you normalize the conversation for you around periods? Like, did you just grow up?
I just grew up and I just, you know it's normal, it happens.
Because Ben is very like, you can send him a packet of pads and he would go get it for you. A packet of tampons, he would go get it for you. And also like...
Tonight, 2 a.m.
But I think also like the fact that you had your sister...
I also had a sister and you know, I saw this whole thing unfolding. In fact,
even with the cancer, it really helped you understand menstrual, because it started like the first sign was.
But back when she was still a child, there was one day she was just so moody, just chilling on her bed. So we were like, yo, nini mbaya? So my mom ndio akaniambia she's cramping. Lakini nilimhurumia. Oh yeah, sweetheart. Nitakufanyia hiyo kazi imebaki, you know. But you know, before you're bullying her, we kazi yako ni kuchill too. You know, then actually, mom tells you, that's when we started warming up to the whole. It's normal.
I think even to give you credit on that, the conversation, and I think it's important to have these conversations with your partner and rope them into your cycle. I think that also helps, because Ben is very keen on understanding when I'm ovulating, even though he doesn't understand it month after month after month after month. It's very like he asks these questions a lot. So like, tell me what happens with your body, blah 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 blah, all these things. So I think have such conversations with your partners, with your brothers, and with men in your life, so that we can start normalizing the conversation around periods.
But mostly when you start picking up random fights is when I start asking myself the question, like, you know, we'd be going to town and then we get to Pangani and you're like, tutumie Forest Road ama Ngara. So if I use Ngara and, you know, we're not agreed, you get so mad, and I'm like...
And then you start counting back with this.
And then I'm like, kumbe, you know, just keep quiet.
And then you extend grace. Why do men ghost?
The men who ghost are guys who have been taught to run away from a problem or a challenge. Every single time there's a challenge, this guy needs to run. And by the way, if psychologists are watching this, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a psychologist, so please msikam nimalize hapa hivi na keyboard fraud alisema sijui what.
I agree with you, because a lot of things we pick up from our childhood.
And look at it this way. Maybe this guy, the dad ghosted them, or somebody ghosted. So for him, he believes that to run away from a problem, unaenda missing, mteja, una change citizenship.
Ama ukijisikia kitu unahepa tu, like you don't have to
you run away. And then now for fellas, I think we need to get to a point where we start confronting our feelings. We need to start facing our feelings so that we can know what's the problem, what problem we have. But it's because it has not been made to look manly, that you know, being, you know, confronting your feelings and being like this and being like that. That's why we just want messed up.
I think going back to what you're saying, therapy then is the minute you start hitting adulthood, then start considering talking to somebody.
Gift yourself.
Gift that to yourself, because I think you realize, and I like what you're saying, Ben, that a lot of it just goes back to our childhood and how we were brought up. And if you don't understand that, there's no way that you can be a good friend, a good partner, a good everything.
And if you feel like therapy is expensive, because therapy is, there's so many YouTube videos you can search, and then they actually break down why you feel the way you're feeling or whatever, something like that.
Oh, this is a good one. Why is it when men want to kukatia, they're so into you, then the minute unaingia box, that's it. They get comfortable, hakuna dates, like it's down to business. Like nimefunga hiyo deal, wacha ni focus on other things.
What's your pitch changing? It's like, why you settle down? Alafu, once you settle down. So the question is why most homies.
I think the question should be, or what I think the lady was trying to get at, is why do men get comfortable once you get into a relationship?
Oof. Then I guess that's
That's above Dr. W.
no, it's
Because Dr. W is struggling with it.
No, I think people get comfortable because maybe to them, first of all, maybe they were not really sure they wanted a relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe the thrill of the chase is what fueled everything. Yeah. And sometimes there's just a breed of guys who are just attracted to chasing women. Like I have a friend, mwenye madem mwenye wanamlike, kuangi interested. When hawamlike, hata kama wako above him, this guy will commit his life to chasing this chick. Hata kama it will take more than 1 year. Like homie is always chasing these chicks. So maybe some guys are thrilled by the chase more than the relationship itself. So I guess before like you get into a relationship with somebody, you need to know where their headspace is at. Because if it's just the thrill, it will just be your time yenye mnakatiana. Mkisha settle, hata siku hizi anakuongeleshanga na Kikuyu. No Akinya.
So you think it's take your time before committing?
Yeah, take your time before committing, and then you study the mental space of this person and ask like clear-cut questions.
You know, Ben, I'm finding that a lot of your answers are tailored towards know yourself, know your mental state. Like just know yourself first, know where you come from, where you're going, know yourself before. Yeah.
Because a lot of relationships fail because you get two different people or people who can't even gel at all. And it's not really their fault, it's because hata hao wenyewe hawajui wako. Unaona? Yeye ana believe it's from this relationship to this other relationship. I can never be alone. I think you need to really take some time and be alone just to understand yourself first. And then from that you will realize if you had set standards, you have to maintain those standards. If kama hauna, you just
I guess yo area unalan sasa uliharakisha kwa relationship sasa you're into How can you tell a man is serious about you? We had this conversation. Yeah. You remember? With a friend of ours on Friday?
Oh, can you tell that a guy is serious but siku hapo kwa table kwa shine like yes, remember?
Yeah. Okay, so
ameenda kwa ATM.
How can you tell a man is serious about you?
I think when guys were chasing chicks, we know exactly what we want.
It's been 6 years, so hata wewe mwenyewe unajiuliza
sasa. Was it 6 years ago on Instagram? Mama more than you get.
No, but how can you tell?
I think men are very particular with what they want. I don't think there's any guy who really wants to waste time with a chase that they
if
don't.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, that they don't. With a chase they don't want to commit to. So if somebody is serious about you, they're gonna make the effort. Stop trying to read in too much and defending them. Like I don't understand how a guy cannot text you for like 2 weeks and you still think there's something. And that's both for guys and chicks. Even for dudes, if a chick is not texting you for 2 weeks, bruh, you're alone, man. Move. You get so. Those are some of small red flags that you need to see. You know, communication, commitment, respect. You know, values. Like they think like you and all that stuff. Because I've tried dating somebody with different values, man.
Yeah, remember that story on the podcast? It was really...
That's one. There's another one.
Oh, really? Do you want to tell the story?
Yeah, like I tried hitting on this chick who was really... You remember, the other one was also like clubbing. Now Mr. Nini Bana. Nilikuwa nadhani ati nitawa change. You get
your crown is in.
My crown is in New Jerusalem. So this chick maze kwanza ule wa kwanza wachana ule mwenye alikam kwa gig. Now this other one was also like a party animal, like you know they would go to road trips. Alafu now you check the dudes she's with, man.
So you umeisha kwa road trip.
Where hata una doa hizo road trips. Sasa unajua mademu they have it easy because wanalipiwa. Maboy sasa surely huwezi enda hapo hivyo watu wewe chali au dem pia unalipi. So unabaki mtaa. Na unajua this chick you can't like force this chick not to go to the road trip. You look like, you know, what it is, 1800s. You get, so you just tell her, okay, you just go, but you know, we'll text, I guess. O dem ako kwa road trip yote raja kuhala even once. Ashida kuambia two stories about, like you know on Facebook, because those time Facebook was really big. So
this is an interesting one. Dr. W, my man is taking too long to propose. Why is he taking... This is not me. Why is he taking so long to propose? He's in Nyawera though.
Is this your other account?
No.
My man is taking too long to propose.
Yeah. And I saw another one here, still here. Would you be okay if a woman proposed? Like, I feel like you're taking too long, and then I propose it.
Maybe the question can be, has she ever asked the guy? I think you just
have
need
you had
to
a
ask.
conversation?
Yeah, just have the conversation.
Yeah.
Like, yo, bro.
I think all this, that question of marriage and proposal, I think it all boils down to a conversation between you.
A conversation is very important because a guy can avoid proposing not because ati akutaki or akupendi, but maze standards Joe. Like, you know, first of all, after you propose, there's ratio.
There's so many processes,
especially yeah, and then when you hear from
come from the Kikuyu culture,
exactly, you know,
it's just an extortion game.
Hey, you know, so maybe the guy is like, maybe I won't meet all these demands, so I need to slow down first, or maybe the guy is also just scared about this whole this whole process and the whole relationship thing. Because anyway, the society has really put pressure on guys, especially when it comes to, you know, marriage. And now you see that these vlogs happening all over, and that's the culture now, and they're very good, they're very dope. But you see, even the way guys
they put a pedestal on
marriage. You even look at how guys live. You know, guys are traveling. Can you afford the travel? Then, bro, you can afford a wedding. You get. So I think you need to have a conversation with your partner. Alafu mkubaliane, by the way, this is where I'm at. This is where you're at. But this is my plan. Will it work? Do we need to give it a time period? And all that stuff. It's more about
a conversation, because even with a conversation, you understand. Does he want to have the whole marriage thing, and maybe he just wants to cohabit? Is it cohabit? Cohabit. Yeah. So he just maybe wants to do the quick AG wedding. Maybe just wants to do a cultural thing. Doesn't want to go the full 360. So I think it's just a conversation that both of you need to be and agree. And maybe if you have a conversation with him, you'll realize, okay, maybe this works for me, maybe this doesn't work for me, or maybe this has fears. How can I guide him through his fears?
But for me also, now to the gentleman, I think one of the things you can do yourself, to yourself, not you can, a huge favor that you can do to yourself is get mentorship from guys who've gone ahead of you. That way you get the whole scope, because I feel like guys also just do it. You're just doing it alone, so you're just seeing this whole mountain ahead of you. Yet when you talk to guys who've gone through it, you're like, it looks like a mountain, but once you start, it leads the next one to the other one. So I think, gentlemen, let's also get mentors, man.
Why is it difficult for men to communicate? The whole communication. We've struggled with that. If I could just give you guys a small snippet to our relationship struggles. We've struggled with
I don't know, that's such a broad question that has so many
layers.
Yeah, because what's communication in terms of...
Maybe texting, calling, airing out your feelings, saying how you truly feel.
Then, you know, airing out your feelings is not necessarily communication, that's expression. No, as in, kwa sababu I can be good. You see, like for me, I don't like texting much. But whenever I'm with you physically, I give you all the attention you get. You can you attest to that?
Yes,
you say something positive.
Yes, I can.
So that doesn't mean I have a problem with communication. I only have a problem with communicating via phone.
Text,
or via text. But so I'm assuming the question is also addressed to guys can't communicate maybe what they're feeling and all that stuff. It's the whole thing for kuwa mwanaume. So like even when you were kids, man, you'd fall. Unaambiwa kuwa mwanaume. You know this scar here? Have you seen it so that you can tell them how it is?
You could.
This scar. This scar.
Was in the battlefield.
This guy, like when I remember when I was a kid, nilianguka, and it really like it swell. But you see, everyone had told me that you're not supposed to report such stuff. This thing was becoming. It was even like
infected.
It was even being like it was like ilikuwa get infected and all that stuff. It became so big until when my mom saw it one time, and then she was like, "Yo, what's happening here?" I was like, "It's nothing." it's very painful, mom, you know. You know, it's until that point that my mom at least spot me, I can be like, I'll see, I can buy a dawa and all that stuff. But you see, the way we've been brought up is you need to die on that hill as a man. You get, and it's a very twisted mindset.
Goes back to your childhood.
Your childhood, you are bringing, it's a very twisted mindset that we need to get rid of, kwa sababu ishapitwa na wakati. Ishapitwa na wakati yule ya kuto express how you feel. So now the challenge is, now that guys are being told to express themselves, how do they even do that? You know? How do they even know that they are struggling with something? Because in most instances, in some instances, you're the one who's told me how I'm feeling. Even I didn't even know how I'm feeling.
Was I wrong though?
No, you're very right.
Okay.
But it's because I also became more in touch with my emotional side. To be honest, after this relationship, you know, I was gangster. I was a mess. Like I was never used to care about such things.
But inside you were just like a teddy bear needing love. Like daddy baby. But
one fearful, you get it takes time. Yeah. So I think maybe if it's a lady, you can try and warm it up to the guy. You know, that idea of
create a safe
space. And also understand that they are upbringing and they can't change in a day. We can't change in a day. We can't just start, you know, tomorrow I'm telling. I even have a journal. You get like Nyawera, you know. Nyawera has like 4 journals. You get, that's somebody who has been
for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. This is for money. This is for friends. You get, they've been raised to express themselves. I mean, we've even had this conversation with you. Yeah. That when you look at kids who come from the States, I must do. Yeah. Like, oh, why are you wearing those white shoes? Why do they always have to talk like this? I don't know. You know, why are you sitting there? Dad, I'm so disappointed in you, and that was so wrong. You get, but in Africa, we even told not usiongee mbele awageni nitakataza mara gokwera maitamaigana coffee. You get, so we are taught to feel it, suck it up.
You're taught to shrink
and shut out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what I would say is continuously create an environment where somebody can be open enough. Yeah. If it's about expression, if the communication you're speaking on is
about expression,
is about expressing their feelings. Yeah. I think what I've seen working is constantly reassure somebody that I'm here for you. And for somebody like Ben, what I learned is to lead them into a place where they can express themselves. So it's like, are you feeling this way? Yeah. How do you feel about your music? How do you feel about your grief journey? Yeah. So you find that somebody, if you ask such leading questions, they tend to open up more, especially for somebody like Ben who also so it's like he's just like one huge mess. Yeah. So if you ask leading questions, it becomes easier for them to, okay, they're asking me about my grief journey. How do I feel? Do I feel sad? Do I feel and then
how do you even check how you feel?
Yeah. And then now they start opening up
to themselves. Maybe, and that's now in terms of expression. If females say the communication problem could be also as a result of other things. Maybe that is no, ama ana WhatsApp, ama ana Wi-Fi, ama penye anaishi, hiyo nyumba yake ni ground floor, kunanga net, get. There could be other problems underneath all that stuff.
I think with communication, if it's via phone and whatever, I think for me what I did is I came to understand that phone may not be your strongest point. Yeah. So how can I maximize on these other ways of communication? Yeah. I think I would say the same thing. But if you feel like ata hajaribu kukuona, hajaribu kukutext or anything, just have a conversation and try to understand and say, this is how I would prefer to be communicated to. Yeah. How would you, what's the middle ground? How can we get to a place where I'm comfortable in the relationship with how my needs are being met and how you're comfortable? Yeah. So another one, this is a dilemma she sent in. Hey girl, my question would be, why is it that when a girl stays loyal and helps a guy out when they have nothing immediately, the guy becomes successful? You know, this story, Nigerians have acted it one too many times. Chicken! There's gonna be a chicken! They walk away and look for another girl. This happened to me. I dated the guy for 4 years. He literally had little in his name, talked to my relatives so that he could finally get a job. And when he did, he changed on me completely. He opted for the working class because I was just a struggling entrepreneur who wasn't interested in employment at the time. It broke me. Why do they do this? they forget easily. I think I've seen this question come up again. I've seen a couple of scenarios like this. Why do men
do this?
The minute they get quick success,
they get money, they missing monogamy in Italy. I think that's not a man issue. Again, it's a human being issue. That's just somebody. It's both ways. Men do it, women do it. In fact, there's this song called Tuirio Tuega by a guy called.
Is it Samido?
No, Gatotora. It's called Sami Gatotora and another chick. And that song is in Kikuyu, so they talk about this chick alitoka Ocha, akakama kaishi Zima. You know guys like in Ocha see Nairobi as a big deal. So this chick comes akaishi Zima, akapata job poa kama supervisor. You get then there were these guys who were hitting on her, and she also changed on the guy. So I think it's a human being situation. So for let's say for the chick mwenye alisaidia the guy alafu guys akamtoka, I don't think you should. I think you should just let it be. God is just gonna balance that out, because there's nothing much you can do. You can't hold on that bitterness. You did your part as a good human being. You helped somebody grow. If they decide to choose this way, that's a choice they have decided to take.
And they'll deal with
the consequences. They will deal with the consequences. Yes, consequences are in all our choices. So you just it's painful. It's very painful and it's very bitter. But I guess that's the place where for me, I'm a Christian, so I believe in letting God heal you on that situation, because there's nothing you can do to bring them back, unless if you want to go to the office and cause drama. You know, those shows that you watch. But also, some of these guys, you can spot them even when they don't have anything. And someone's attitude, mindset towards even the way they treat people, like, you know, waiters, the way they treat the parking attendant, or how they even respond to people on the road. Those are some of the things that you should be very keen about, to know that, hey, guys kumoja
atakutoka. Why do men find it difficult setting boundaries with their female friends? I feel like I do that with every question. Why? This is a good one.
Is it personal?
No.
Are you the one asking that question?
Why? I'm not going to protect.
Why do men
find it difficult to set boundaries with female friends? I think this one you can give from your own experience. Maybe you could speak on it without divulging too much about our relationship, but maybe you could speak on why it's been a challenge for you. Hey, Ben Kwa, Mr. Nice. You think Mr. Nice was in Tanzania?
Mr. Nice. As in, so I don't have the right answer to this one. I don't know. Can I share?
What's your view?
How I think is...
That's what you're here for, Dr. W.
My services. I feel like for me, I've always grown up to know that the chicks are the ones who say no, not the guys. You get? So, especially throughout high school, like high school, Upper Hill, I don't know what's wrong with Upper Hill school. Like Upper Hill, all we wanted was nikukatia tu. That's all, we just wanted to hit on the chick. Hata tutaki mambo mob. Kama ni funky ya CU tuko hapo na Bible. Kama ni ya maths tuko hapo na calc. Kama ni ya music, place tu mademu wako, tuko hapo. And that's how it was. So throughout the whole thing, in fact, it was not a cool thing for a guy to say no to a chick. Like ulikuwa unaka, hey mazee, when you weak mazee, dem akijileta, you just accept. That's how human beings have been created according to that time. So I never learned how to like turn down chicks. In fact, that nimelan. I think even after campus, that you know, when a chick makes advances, unaweza mtoka ama mwambie, by the way pia mimi niko na standard. But at that time it was anything goes. You get like anything and anyone. So that also now translates to, you see now, when you're a stand person, like, you know, and like you don't have that bad mindset for chicks are the ones who can say no. Like POA, you can start telling other chicks who look like wanakuja sana wambe mlenga and all that stuff. But me, venye tulikuanga, especially in high school, no was never an option, man. You
know, picking up again from you, it's a lot of unlearning that you've had to do about how you were taught. Being a man, looks like.
Yeah.
You were taught that being a man is, or not really taught, because that would say it's your okay, kufunzwa pia na
unafunzwa na dunia pia, and you are in a boys' school.
Yeah, so you're taught women should always flatter themselves onto you, and it shouldn't be you saying no.
Yeah.
It should be them saying no. So I'm picking
up. No when you fall.
Yeah.
Because even in high school, like the most respected guys, ni wenye walikuwa nakatia wasichana wengi.
Yeah.
So ukiingia stato unakatia as many
so
as possible.
So you've carried that with you.
You carry it slowly without even knowing.
Yeah.
That, you join campus and you still have the same thing.
It's sort of like a badge of honor if you have all these women.
Even on Twitter, when you see rarely do you see chicks hitting on a guy first, but when that happens, unaonanga hiyo comment yote wase wamejaa, master teach me your ways, master teach. When you get into a relationship, you have to start cutting off some of those traits,
and you don't know how to do it because you've never done it.
Ujai turn down them. You know when I was in high school, hiyo kitu ya kukatia madem ilikuwa so much, hata nikiingia ma 3 na nikaenda dem. But the time after SAT,
last much question.
And the days that I never used to do it, I'd go home feeling very bad.
That's such a weird mentality.
Yeah, I always feel like, man, umelalia, man, no dem alikuwa fine, ungebonga naye. In fact, even had like the lines, like there was a fungu dirisha, like you have it all planned out as opposed to what. Yeah.
I think a lot of it that it's how we have grown up or how society has shaped men's way of thinking, men's way of becoming men, so to speak. All right, so I think we've covered majority of the questions. Please do let me know if Dr. W helped you. Thank you so much, Dr. W, for making time to be on this.
Thank you very much. By the way, I also have a card. You're going to give me my card. Just feel free to call me anytime you have issues with your boyfriend.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped you, or it helped your relationship in some weird sense, or it helped you understand the male species a little bit better. I know I did. I think my biggest take home is men are a huge product of where they come from. Human beings in general, but if you want to understand men better, then you need to start understanding where they have come from, the way they've been brought up.
They also get to a parting shot.
Yeah. The kind of people they've related with, because that has informed how they behave and act and everything. And I think even another takeout would be the therapy issue.
Yeah.
I think that's a big one. In one way or the other, if you can't, as Ben say, if it's a bit expensive, I know therapy can be expensive, there are resources online that can help you get in touch.
Yeah.
Get
in touch with yourself. This is for men. I think there's some cultures that we need to stop and drop. I think they've just been overtaken by time. Like nowadays, men, a lot of chicks are earning so much money more than guys. You cannot tell her baki kwa nyumba akichunga kuku na it's just life. So we need to unlearn a lot of the things that we were taught. We need to be very emotionally intelligent, like when we understand ourselves. But also for ladies who are woke, it's okay. That's a good thing. And I don't get easily offended by the men out here, because they'll just leave you mad for nothing and all that stuff. Try and understand also where they're coming from. And if you feel like you can't be compatible with someone's thought process and all that stuff, just cut them off. But you cannot cut off a whole species of men and say, all men are trash, or men are useless, I don't want to see men. It's not like that. But also for us gentlemen, I think it's time for us to just drop some of these things that we were taught. They're not true, they're a lie, and they will lead nowhere.
I think everyone just work on yourself.
Everyone just needs to work
to get to a place where you can both have a healthy relation, even if it's not a romantic relationship, or you can have a healthy male-female friendship, brother-sister relationship.
Because it boils down, even there's some people who just despise, female employees.
Yeah.
There's some people who just feel like, females should not talk.
There's some people who think that females cannot work hard in school and get first class honors. They think they have to spread their legs to get to the top.
Yeah, but
it's not for everyone. Yeah. It's not for everyone. Anyway, Dr. W, thank you so much for making the time.
Thank you very much.
Ben had a good idea that he was telling me off before we started recording, that we could do this version on this platform. We could do where women ask you
Yeah.
questions to understand men a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then on his podcast, we can do men can ask you questions to understand women better.
Yeah.
And maybe me and Yawera.
Yeah, so on
can
this
chime
one, Wanjiru did this poll on Instagram when she asked women to ask about men. So I'm gonna do mine on Twitter where I'm gonna ask men.
Twitter.
Yeah. That's
Why don't we just stick to Instagram? Twitter is just hectic.
Twitter is where like most guys are there. So
but
go there. Anyways, I'll know how to handle it.
yeah.
I'll know how to handle
Yeah.
it.
Thank you, Dr. W again.
Thank you.
Your services. I'll leave his contacts down below in case you want to reach Dr. W. Anyway.
There's a discount by the way
Yeah.
for the first 10 clients.
That means he won't feed you with BS. Anyway, thank you
Can
so
you
much.
imagine if you don't pay your full amount to a psychologist? I'll mess up with your emotions.
I'm going to
We'll talk you extremely tough.
damn it. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.